So 2025 for the Roblox anime community, because we know outside the anime community, they have games like Grow a Garden, which isn't anything special, but you know, it's casually getting 25 million concurrent players, so they got that, I guess. But for the anime community, we haven't really had a good year. Type Soul, which just released, was the biggest anime game of the year to release in this community, and that was nothing but a drama update. It was barely content, in my opinion. We were genuinely more entertained by the drama than the game itself. That's why I haven't really uploaded too much videos on the game, and to be fair, there were a lot of videos to upload on it, but that's a conversation for another video. This year, 2025, was supposed to be the best year for us with so much games that were supposed to release. Last year, we knew Holy War X and Realseas was supposed to release December or even before that, but it got postponed to this year, and we all thought it was going to be the beginning of this year, which is why we thought it was going to release for Realseas. Holy War X, we were going to be playing that all throughout the year. And Pocket Anime, we already had testing last year. It was sometime between, I believe Pocket Anime was testing during March, July of last year, something like that. So we thought it was going to release this year. Those 3 games in itself were supposed to go crazy and carry us through 2025, but that obviously didn't happen. However, as bad as this year was, the year isn't over and there are 4 months left. So I want to talk about some games that have 4 months left to release. These are games that said they were going to release last year. These are games that were saying that they're going to release this year. Some games that are giving strong indication that it might or should release this year. So if you guys want these games to actually release, make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe, letting the developers know that, hey, we're still on this. So I'm gonna start off with One Piece 4 Blues. A lot of you guys already knew about this game because we made a lot of, or maybe not a lot, but there's been some videos on this game and they already confirmed that this game was supposed to release this year. Even last year when we tested this game and played this game, they did say that the game release was confirmed for this year, summer. Summer is over, but when we did hop back in the game and we were testing it those months, I don't remember what month it was, but one of the things that they did mention to us was that they do still plan on releasing the game this year. And I don't really remember when. I don't even think they have a release date. It was supposed to be this summer, but yeah, they did emphasize that they weren't far from it. They did tell us that because the drama that was going on, I was saying that the game is probably just not going to release because now the maps are no longer like their maps. It was a whole thing, but they literally came to me and reassured me that the game is still going to release on the same or a very similar timeline, so we're not far from release. In their Discord, they did say that over here, there has been a lot of discourse as well as confusion as to when 4 Blues is looking to release. We want to provide clarity towards the community and answer the question in which has been lingering. There were a handful of unrealistic deadlines which were made prior to 4 Blues being purchased. Which, as you guys know, as I was just saying in the video, last year when we tested this game, they were planning on releasing during this summer, which obviously did not happen. And so I guess this is kind of what they're talking about, unrealistic, but let's get into it more. The former team had led us to believe the game was much closer to release than it actually was, and they conveyed timeframes to the community to push that narrative. Ooh. After speaking with the team, outlining absolute must-have features versus updates, and creating an extensive timeline, we have concluded that it's viable to aim for an end of August release. And guys, what month is it right now? It's August. There will be a testing phase open to exclusive people during the midpoint of the month. Please note that by pushing for this timeline, we will be aiming to fulfill a complete version of the game. However, there will still have to be numerous update phases. This will result in downtime. It is also worth mentioning that we will be updating the community as we near the end of the month. And it is entirely subject that we may end up delaying. However, at this time, we do not believe that that is on the table. So as of right now, y'all, they do believe that end of August, end of this month, is going to be the release of One Piece 4 Blues. I told y'all it wasn't going to be that much longer until this game releases. Based off of what they said, they still said in this little message that it's still subject to be delayed. And if we know anything about game devs, chances are it's going to be delayed. But still, that's a very close. And the fact that they still plan on releasing it this month with likely no delay is still a good sign, but I guess we'll see. They also do say that, do note that 1 week prior to a set release date, we'll begin a second marketing phase, which will include all of the content creators that have been worked on from the point of acquisition to now. In the meantime, enjoy Type So and let the Foward Blues developers cook. Oh, these are the guys who were working on Type So, aren't they, huh? Oof. And as you guys know, obviously, I was one of the content creators who were able to record on it. So I'm gonna obviously record on this game, Foward Blues, when the time comes. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want more information on that, whenever that happens. Now, Beyond Nen is a Hunter x Hunter Roblox game created by Decay. This is the only Hunter x Hunter upcoming Roblox game that I'm aware of, at least. Maybe there is more, but this is the only one I'm aware of. And this game actually had a release date. As all Roblox developers do, though, it kind of got delayed. I mean, they didn't actually have a release date set in stone. They said if everything goes according to plan, if everything goes smoothly, then they were going to release this summer, which was supposed to be July. Summer is over already, I'm pretty sure, right? But they said it was supposed to be July if everything goes smooth, and obviously now we're in August, so July it got delayed, right? Again, they didn't actually have a set in stone release date. That was only if everything moves smooth, and so I guess everything is not smooth. But the fact that the release date was so near, so soon, it lets you know that their plan on releasing is at least 2025, within the next at least 4 months, right? Now, knowing devs, oh man, knowing Decay, there is a chance that it just doesn't release this year. But Decay has 4 months to release this game if it's going to be 2025. He did plan on releasing it this summer, so there's that, but they are actually working to release this game, and they did release a movie that showed a lot of content. I thought, me personally, I didn't think the movie was too bad. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it wasn't too bad. I just think for me personally, especially since I haven't watched Hunter x Hunter, because I know a lot of the criticism people had for the game was that this wasn't really Hunter x Hunter. So for me, I guess it's a little different because I actually haven't watched it. I thought it was fine. Again, this is coming from a perspective of someone who has not watched or care for the anime itself. But obviously with games like Holy War X and Rel C's, Beyond Nen isn't going to be on that same level. So obviously I'm not as excited for that game as I would be for a lot of these other games. The quality is just very noticeable, but I don't think that the game is bad. I don't think that the game is bad. That's my personal opinion, but of course they are still trying to improve and do better on that game. So good luck to Decay. Hopefully this game does release this year. And yeah, let me know if there's anybody actually excited for Beyond Nen down in the comments below who actually watched Hunter x Hunter. I want to know where you guys' minds are at. Keep a lookout on Beyond Nen though. This should be releasing pretty soon. Now, Grand Alpha over here. This is an upcoming Sword Art Online Roblox game that was supposed to release some time ago, but it wasn't in any shape, state, none of that to release at the time. And so they delayed it for a better release to make sure people actually can have a quality product when they actually go out to the public. And it was very much needed. Now, I don't have any particular interest or reason to record or post a dedicated video on the game as of right now. But since this game is looking to release this year, actually pretty soon, according to what they say over here, it does fit in this video with this other batch of games that's supposed to be releasing this year. Really 4 months left. But yeah, Aqua says over here in the Discord that to clarify, the community release will happen sometime during this testing phase. It will be an alpha release that costs Robux to play. The full free game release will happen after the 7 testing phases are complete. So this current testing phase that they're in, which is testing phase 6, I'm pretty sure that they're in that phase right now. At some point, it's going to go out to, I guess you could kind of say, the public. It'll cost Robux if you want to play this game. And if you do want to play the game for free, you're going to have to wait for the next testing phase, which is 7, because right now we're in 6. Once testing phase 7 is complete, the game will go to the public free. So that does sound like it's pretty soon, at least with the next 4 months. No way they're in testing phase 6 and 7 for 4 whole months, right? So yeah, Grand Alpha has 4 months to release, and it's looking like they're on pace for that. Now, whether they will release in a good state, whether people actually mess with the game, I guess we will see. Now, I know for me personally, I'm waiting for a good Sword Art Online game. I don't know if Grand Alpha will be that Sword Art Online game, but I don't understand why can't we just get a good Sword Art Online game? This is a very hyped up genre that a lot of people are looking for. We haven't even gotten a good Sword Art Online game on Roblox yet, and whenever I post on a Sword Art Online game, it just gets a lot of views. Y'all are clearly excited for any Sword Art Online content, man. So now, Blox Fruits, I did see that the game is supposed to be updating, a pretty big update on August 23rd. It's supposed to be some type of lightning update. Obviously, I know Goro was my fruit, lightning is my fruit, and this is going to be a whole revamp of that fruit, or at least an upgrade of that fruit, something of that nature. I'm pretty sure this update is supposed to come with new islands as well and things of that nature. I'm not really a Blox Fruits guy, but I bring up Blox Fruits because it did also remind me that another One Piece game called Grand Piece Online actually supposedly is supposed to be releasing with an update. For the past, what, I don't even know how much years it's been, like 3 years? I don't even know. Grand Piece Online has not updated in a long time, or at least a big update. And FINAL has recently showcased the new dragon fruit, and we know the next update was supposed to be whole cake. So now FINAL is actually focusing on the update, and it seems like Grand Piece Online is not completely done yet. It seems like this might be the last update. I think it should and will be the last update for Grand Piece Online. And so now that FINAL is actually working on the update, I feel like if it's gonna release, it's got 4 months to release before this year is over. If Grand Piece Online updates, I don't actually remember the update number anymore. Whole Cake Island update is gonna release this year. It's got 4 months left, and FINAL is working on it now, so I guess there's that. Don't really have too much to say on that, I guess, but I will obviously record and upload videos on the updates. So yeah, if y'all want to see more on that, y'all could like and subscribe. But yeah, I don't know what FINAL's been doing. The community has been waiting for that specific update for so long. I don't know what happened, but now Holy War X, I do have some things I want to say about this game in particular. I've already said this many times, but Holy War X has not given us any actual release date. I mean, last year they did say that they were planning on releasing last year, and that obviously didn't happen. But now that this year has started and we've gone the entire year without pretty much any information on the game regarding a release date or anything of that nature, we did get a few videos on Holy War X, and the game looks really good. I mean, obviously every single delay, just like Rel sees, they have showed why the game got delayed. The game has visually and very clearly improved. So you're not entirely mad that these games are getting delayed, at least Holy War X and Rel sees, because it's clearly getting worked on. But again, Holy War X has not given us a release date, so we don't know when this game is going to release. But a lot of us have assumed that Holy War X is going to release in the year 2025. My personal guess is that they've got 4 months left to release. I do think that they're going to hopefully release December. And that's hope, because realistically, since they haven't given us any release date or anything of that nature, that means that they have all the time in the world to really work on the game without any pressure, which by the way is a good thing. These devs should be working without too much pressure, in my opinion, if we want the best product. But that also means that they have no incentive or additional pressure to release this year, meaning, in my personal opinion, that game is a 2026 release, chat. I think Holy War X is going to be releasing next year. But if they do aim for a 2025 release, they got 4 months left. They did plan on releasing last year. So if they weren't going to release last year, why wouldn't they try to aim for 2025? So if Holy War X releases this year, and I'm saying if it's a 2025 release, it's not going to be September, October, or November. Holy War X is going to release in December if it's 2025, y'all. Again, me personally, I think that's a 2026 release, but yeah, just letting y'all know. Now, last but not least, you guys knew I was excited to talk about this topic, Rel sees. Now, they actually did release a few new videos. I have not posted on it. I know you guys were expecting me to make videos on those, because I'm not gonna lie, those were pretty big content. A lot of content to cover there. Okay, not really a lot, but there was a lot I could have definitely yapped about. Maybe I will make a video on that once more content has built up. As of right now, I don't have any plans on making any videos on those 2 specific videos in particular yet, but yeah, I'll let it build, the content build up more. But Rel sees has already been confirmed for a planned release date in 2025. Now, a lot of y'all have been asking me, when is Rel sees going to release? Sage, when is Rel sees going to release? I hopped in Type Soul, and you guys are asking me, when is Rel sees going to release? Even though the game was confirmed for 2025, that could mean any time between now and December. Let me just confirm, it's not releasing before December, y'all. If Rel sees comes out this year, that game is going to be December. Y'all can look forward to that, because it's not releasing anytime before that. Knowing devs, it could be postponed and delayed for next year. If it does release next year, it's going to be super embarrassing based off of all the stuff they've been saying on Twitter and everywhere, that they can and plan on releasing this game in 2025, and how many times they just kind of emphasized and repeated that over and over again. And it's that exact pressure why I expected to actually release this time in December. If they didn't put that pressure on themselves, then yes, I do think that the game would have gotten delayed 100%. But I think that pressure that they put on themselves is why precisely the game is going to release this year. Again, this is another game that got delayed after delay so many times, but every delay, it's been clear why the game got delayed. Because they always visually and noticeably improved their gameplay and visuals. Every movie, every video, we could see how much better the game has gotten. I say this all the time, guys, based off of the first movie or even the first sneak on RELCs, we could see the improvement, and it just lets you know, like, thank God they delayed the game, because if they didn't delay the game, that would have been what we got, guys. Aren't y'all happy that the game got delayed? Type down in the comments below, aren't y'all happy the RELCs got delayed? I am. And now that we're in August and almost September, this month is almost already over, which is kind of crazy. We only have 4 months left to wait for all of these games to release. I know that this year has been pretty dry, pretty boring, but guys, we're on the final stretch, and now is the time for all of these games to release. We got 4 more months left, and RELCs is going to be releasing December, in my opinion. I think it's December. The Royal Brothers already announced that the other day, there's no more people getting invited to the Gold Plus membership thingy that allows people to get into closed community earlier. That's closed. And so how I think the whole process is going to go is, I think that now that that's closed, now they know the number of who and how much people are going to be in what should be every wave. Now me, I'm a Gold Plus, so I'm already guaranteed for Wave A, which will be the first wave. If you have membership for 20 plus months, that's the wave you'll be in. So I'll be one of the first people to actually hop in closed community. Now, I do believe that closed community will start around October, November, but I think it'll be around October. Closed community will start. I think we're going to get movie 3 in September, and following movie 3, we'll go right into closed community, which will be October. I think closed community as a whole will last through the entirety of October and November. I think October will be kind of like the first part. Maybe gold will get October, and then silver will be able to come in November. I don't know exactly how they'll split up all of the waves between October and November, but I think the entirety of October and November will be testing. And if not October, November will be testing for closed community and all that stuff. And then the game will release in December. That's how I think it'll go down. If it doesn't go down that way, I do think that it's possible that instead of movie 3 being in September, movie 3 could be in October, and then maybe testing will start right after, sometime in October, or maybe the beginning of November, and it'll only last for 1 month. But I feel like it'll last maybe a month and a half, so we'll get movie 3 sometime midway through October. I guess we'll see, but yeah, that's about it for this video, y'all. That's all we have left for the remaining of the 4 months. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to. If there's any games I'm missing, down in the comments below, type it. And maybe I can make a part 2 or something of that nature, but I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.